and welcome. I'm Susan and this is my very awkward intro. Okay. To the people that watch my Radiant Brit video, thank you. I appreciate it. Overall, pretty positive feedback. I'm, open to criticism when put correctly and nicely and show me where I'm proved wrong. But today's video I'm a little nervous about, to be honest, because these are the type of stands that I'm not a fan of in the slightest. And I'm counting down the minutes till I get comments along the lines of, why don't you go on her channel and debate her? Why don't you go on her channel and, join her panel and X, Y, and Z? Okay, let me tell you why. Because I don't have time to sit on the internet for 4+ hours with a group of my fans telling people when they can and cannot speak, muting people, disrespecting people, and then calling it a debate. I have no interest in going to a channel where I'm going to be called a peasant. I'm going to be called, things along the lines of overly emotional thinking as opposed to critical and logical thinking. I have no interest in it. The reason why I have no interest in it is because you're a walking contradiction, Kay. You are. You are very intelligent, and when you debate well. And I'm not going to come here and mock your monologues. I'm not going to sit here and say what other people say, like, oh, you're not on the Today Show or the Tonight Show or, that sort of stuff. I'm not here to do that because I think you're an excellent writer. And I think you should run your channel how you see fit in regards to that. But I think that if you want to talk about critical thinking, why is everything comes from a very emotional place? You seem very bitter, you seem very aggressive, you seem very unhappy with your own life. To sit there and say, Chris Watts, I don't blame him for taking Shanann out because of the way she was. That's not critical thinking. Because critical thinking would be, okay, I can see that he was in a scenario where he was incredibly unhappy. I can partly see why he cheated on her. But to sit there and say that he should and has a reason for murdering someone, that's an emotional response to an emotional situation. That's not logical. And I know you want to flip-flop and take it all back now and say, that was so long ago and I've changed my stance and all those sorts of things. Doesn't matter, love. Doesn't matter. You've already said it. You've already said it. And you have to stand by what you say, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. You called a murder victim a bitch. Where's the critical and logical thinking in that? There's none. The next part is, I can appreciate and understand the way you have handled I don't want to sound horrible by not being able to pronounce his name. I think it's Christian Acarito. Why do I say Acarito? I think it's because that's someone that I went to school with. I can't pronounce his name, but your coverage on that case that KendallRae has done, and I'm a huge fan of KendallRae. I'm just going to say that. Huge fan of KendallRae. And now I can see why you've done that. I can see why you have done the other side for Dylan, and I have watched those, and I do appreciate that. Absolutely. Dylan deserves a platform as well, and so does Whitley. We have to see both sides of things, and that's what I'm all about that. But there's no need to be nasty. You know what I mean? We can see both sides of situations without being horrible to people, without being belittling to people, without being patronizing towards people. that's an overall criticism I have, is that you could deliver your speech, your speech and things you want to say incredibly well. But instead, it gets all jumbled up when you start being nasty and negative towards others, belittling others, peddling your Patreon and your, what's it called? PayPal and all these other things constantly, blah, 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 blah. Like when you're peddling all that and you're shutting people down, what exactly are you trying to achieve again? Because your point gets missed in that, which is unfortunate, and I think that I understand your shtick, your thing, your vibe, your whatever you want to call it, is the shock jockey of YouTube, and your claim to fame is calling a dead woman a bitch. Okay, cool. But I think that you have a lot of problems with ego and the way that you present things, because, okay, you want to say that Annie and what's that Dad Challenge podcast? I don't watch either of them. They stress me out. It's just something about them I get a bad vibe from. You didn't have an intellectual point through that from what I saw, because the thing that stuck in my mind wasn't anything that you said that was intelligent. What stuck in my mind was when you put a photo of her being like a breastfeeding mama to all these other little men YouTubers, like smaller men's channels. That came across more of a, how would you word it? More like you being jealous of her appearance, when her appearance should have nothing to do with anything. Like, she doesn't make any sense to me. I just feel like if you calmed it down with the nastiness and you told your subscribers to calm down with their nastiness, you would hit 1 million subscribers in no time. You would have a massive platform, because I do think you're really intelligent, but I just think you're very unself-aware, that when you do all of these things, you're not coming across as very intelligent. And when you talk about thick skin, I don't necessarily think you have thick skin, because I don't have thick skin either. I'm very sensitive, but I'll say that. I am very sensitive. I can take criticism and things like that, but if it was nastily put to me and people were being absolutely horrible to me, I would be upset about that. But you react to everything and say you're so obsessed with me, and look at the fat ugly men that are on Annie's team, and look at the good looking intelligent men I have on my team. That comes across really like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, what is happening in your own life where you feel like you need to do that? You need to question women on their choices when it comes to childcare. That didn't offend me, because I was like, she's entitled to her opinion. But if someone was to come up against you, you just shut them down. Like, you never come in the middle. And when, I can't remember who came to your panel, and said something along the lines of this Google Doc or some doc that came out about you with all these different things that were horrible about you, you just said, well, I have addressed it. Well, then why should people come on your panel and talk to you about things if you don't want to address it again? Can you see what I'm saying? Like, it just makes no sense. And I'm going to continue to watch you always. Like, there's no, because when you filter out all the nonsense, when you filter out all the nastiness, all the way you get, the further into your streams, the longer you have been on, the further you get into things. you are smart, and you are talented, and you have a great voice. Once you filter all the nonsense out, the muting people's mics, the letting all of your people that are on panel all jump together in the little bandwagon and let's go. You know what I mean? The cavalry or whatever you want to, like, it's beyond me why you need to do that to people. And quite frankly, I don't know how you have the energy. How do you have the energy for 4 or 5 hour streams where you don't seem like you actually care what anyone has to say? And when there was someone on there that was actually people were loving what she was saying. Even I was loving what she was saying. She came across very intelligent. She was agreeing with you. She was adding more context and layers upon layers of what you were saying, fundamentally agreeing with you on everything that you said. I got the feeling that you were very uncomfortable by that, because you're like, oh, gotta go, next one. You wanted to shut her down. And I think that shows a lot of self-esteem issues. And you lack self-confidence in certain aspects of yourself. And I don't want your subscribers to come over to this video, attack me on my looks, attack me on how I presented myself, attack me on that I should go on, you know, go on your panel or your this or your Facebook or whatever else and have a conversation with you. I don't want that. I have no interest in that. None. Zero. Zilch. Because your platform is not a fair platform. It's not fair ground. And I have no interest in arguing with you or debating with you. I just have no interest in it. This is just my opinion, that I think that you deserve recognition for the things you do. That are positive, that are constructive, that are honest. And if you did more of that and less of your drunken nonsense and blatant disrespect and rudeness towards people who are dead, alive, underage, older than you, whatever you perceive as bimbos and what is that, man boys or boy mans or whatever you bloody said, I don't know, all that one, if you cut out all that crap, you would actually get a lot further in life. Shock jockeys aren't cute. Trolls aren't cute. The witty humor that you have isn't witty humor. It's degrading, it's disrespectful, it's partly racist. It's just uncomfortable to watch. It's kind of cringeworthy at times. And for women that say that they look up to you and that you're their idol and you're this and you're that, I just hope it's for the reasons that I listed that I appreciate about you. Because if it's the other stuff, I don't want a world filled with people like that. So maybe there's some underlying issues here that you might have within yourself. And instead of airing those into other ways where you're putting people down, dismissing people, belittling people, and putting your nose in certain situations in a horrible way, it's not it. It's not it. No, I'm not going to edit this video. I've just said what I had to say. I've just washed my hair. I'm, chilling, waiting for the Easter holidays with my kids. And I just wanted to say what I wanted to say. I've been wanting to say it for a while, but I just don't, I don't want to delete negative comments or delete mean comments or anything like that. I don't want to do that. But in this video, because if Kay can say that you're going to block people from your channel, you're going to this, you're going to that on your channel, Okay, that's fair, babe. That's your channel. That's fair, babe. But I'm not going to have anybody in my comment section of this video make me feel like a piece of shit because they're little things that you've learned from the Queen, Kay. Because it's my channel. That's what I want to do. So I want everybody to have a beautiful day. And I love you all so much. And I hit 20 subscribers and I'm so proud of myself. Yeah, so next question, one more question before I go. Just leave it in the comments if you want me to do another video on the further fallacies of Radiant Brit, or would everyone like to see, because I've got 2 other videos that I have in mind. One would be the Hopeless Peaches and Creepshow Art saga, whatever you want to call it, and what I think and feel about that situation. And the other one would be a bit more in-depth about borderline personality disorder, what it's like to live with mental illness. Yeah, so let me know. Peace out. Thanks for coming. Eat your veg. Do whatever you want. Just don't come here and start trouble. Love you, bye.